here today with direct marketing experts and practitioners to discuss some strategic aspects of the DM industry. Welcome to author Lois Geller, Kat Moriarty and Doug King from the USPS, and Dave Frankland from Forrester. Where do we go from here? Kat and Doug, maybe you can start off with this. What does the future of direct marketing look like?
The future is kind of interesting because of, and Lois mentioned this earlier, is the economy. You know, the economy is what it is right now, and of course everyone's talking rebound. So I guess really for a direct marketer, it's like how are consumers, your prospective type of audience, how are they going to behave at this point moving forward? Is the rebound going to have an impact of where they spend? You know, are they going to be loosening up their purse strings a little bit? I think that's top of mind for everybody. Now you have a new generation, new people throughout the years with the experience of recessions, and it's like, well, what's going to move them? What's going to get them? So my top of mind as a direct marketer would be, well, how am I really going to approach these people on this point to really get them to buy my product or incorporate my service and do what they need to do for me to also, prosper and hopefully get beyond where it used to be. And I think that is a lot of knowing who your customers are again. You know, you need to know who your audience is. And I think at that time, you got to see what the trends are. You have to kind of see how the tides are turning. Are they coming in? Is it bringing good prospective types of acquisitions? Do you see leads? People are now starting to regain a little more confidence in the financial industry. That's the role I think direct marketers need to play, taking advantage of the times and moving forward and being proactive.
I think adding to that, there's a couple areas I think that are going to emerge more and more in the immediate future, and this kind of supersedes the economy. The thing that's going to last will be a bigger focus on privacy and respect for the customer. I believe that's going to be more and more demanded by the audience, and that will tie in directly to a company's brand, to a direct marketer's brand. I think the day of mass blasting people with a message that nobody really cared about who you were or what your brand was, if there's any place for that to still exist, that may be on direct TV or something of this nature, but I really don't believe it will ever be in true direct marketing in email or direct mail. I think the privacy and the respect for the customer is going to have to be there. I also think that companies are going to need to be listening to the research that is gained from direct marketers, and direct marketers are going to have to integrate their research in with some of the other types of traditional research that marketers have turned to, and I believe that the direct marketing research may be more telling and more accurate than the focus groups of the past and this type of thing, where the artificial situations of some of the research, but the ongoing research that's gained from direct marketing is going to now infiltrate all of marketing. Now some of the new groups, Magna Research, are coming out with actually tying in direct mail as part of the whole advertising package and looking at it as a pure media in and of itself. And how it fits in with the rest. So I think the research coming from direct marketing is going to have to infiltrate all of marketing, and I think the privacy and the respect for the individual we're on a path there where there's no turning back, and it's only going to get more and more intense.
Lois, what are your thoughts on the future of direct marketing?
We used to talk about brands and direct marketing, and it was left to the advertising people to go and develop them and develop the weight and all the advertising strength to build a brand. But now it's really in the hands of all direct marketers, because I believe all advertising, all programs now will be direct marketing programs. There's really not that much left for brand advertising because magazines are the circulations have dropped so much. Television doesn't have the weight that you need to really build a brand. It's there, but it's not great. So direct marketers are going to have to start branding, and the brand will have to resonate from the first meeting with a customer all the way through to customer service. Just recently, I went to a bank. The bank had advertised and sent me a direct mail piece, and I went to the bank with the piece, And then it all fell apart, at that level. People didn't treat me really well, and then I tweeted about it, and I tweet to, many thousands of people, and then I Facebooked about it, and pretty soon a whole bunch of people came on the bandwagon, and nobody from that bank approached me to try to resolve my problem. So we used to talk a lot about response in direct mail and in direct marketing and all the years we taught the course, but now we really have to stand up to the bar, guys, and we have to say that every response that we have from anybody in any channel at all has to be responded to. Many of the speakers at this year's direct marketing convention are rock stars that are in the social media. The idea is that we have to be more present than we've ever been. We used to do mass millions of mailings. People would respond. We did customer service, and we were very much, in our individual, portals of in a big organization and in an agency as well. But now it's sort of homogenized, and we have to have one voice for the customer. And the funny and amazing part of it is that some of the biggest brands now are like for-people companies. It's a huge opportunity for our craft, our direct marketing science that we love, to really grow if we start doing the right things. And one thing is that we have to be everywhere. There's no way against it. I looked up, for instance, United States Postal Service on Twitter today. I couldn't find it. You have to be on Twitter. You have to be on Facebook. You have to be in every single channel, because if somebody wants to ask a question where they are, you got to be there. And the best part about it is that direct marketing has always been about acquisition and retention, and now we have many more channels that we can go out and get people and retain them. We can, no matter where the customer is, we can be there.
That's great, Lois. You had some really great info. So I guess that leaves you with the last word, Dave. What do you think the future of direct marketing will look like?
So let me just, I'm not sure I 100% agree with Lois, or maybe I just see things a little differently in that, I don't think brand is dead, and there's not much left for it. I'm not quite so doom and gloom. I think it needs to change too. So, we spent a lot of this call talking about how direct marketing needs to change. I think brand marketing needs to change too. But I think from an emotional connection with a customer, nothing beats brand. And you think about even traditional TV brand. I mean, they're still building brands today on TV, and I don't think that's going to change. I think what we need to do is figure out a way to tie all of these things together. And I would go back to the point Kat made about the economy, and Kat sort of made that point from the consumer's perspective. But I think if you look at it from our perspective, as companies, we all contributed to the downturn in the economy. We took on risk, and we need to learn from those lessons from the past. And we have as marketers, we have a responsibility to help ensure that the turnaround that Bernanke has seen, that we hopefully will see in a few quarters, that it does stick. And I think we've seen a huge shift in the last 12 months to retention and away from pure acquisition marketing and focusing on loyalty. That's something that shouldn't go away. We've seen a huge emphasis on customer value, and even thinking about customer value prior to acquisition. That's something that shouldn't go away. Using customer knowledge and intelligence to drive budget allocation, that's something that shouldn't go away. Listening, Doug mentioned listening, and Lois is right, that should be in every channel, right, that we're listening to the customer. We should have listening posts that are multi-channel in nature. That's something that shouldn't go away. It's not just that it's cool to do Twitter, but that you can come across some really important service, marketing, sales opportunities that you can help ensure that loyalty and retention or acquisition comes about. And then finally, I absolutely agree with Doug on both the privacy and sort of preference relevant side of things. I would go back to one of the things I said earlier in terms of the role of the future for direct marketers, I believe, is to be the customer advocate, and that starts with their experience, the customer experience, and obviously core to that is relevance, privacy, trust, as part of that.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. This has been a great conversation.
Okay, thank you, Liz.
Thank you for having us, Liz. We enjoyed it.
To learn more about relationship strategy, visit www.one-to-one-media.com.